paradise because you help develop the habits of your kids. And it becomes a sadaqah jariyah each time they open the Quran. For the rest of their lives, even after you've died, you get a full reward because you're the one who developed the habit in the first place. That's why for us as adults or parents to help others develop habits, especially our own children, we achieve a reward that is unmatched. Unmatched. And we continue receiving it even in our graves. And guess what? If they were to have children or to have circles of people whom they helped as a result of you helping them, the list is endless. It goes on and on and on. The generation after the generation, for as long as they continue the habit that you started. And if it was started by your parent or grandparent or a teacher, then even going backward, they're all achieving a reward. Look at Allah. Look at how much of emphasis He's given us to develop good habits. Those who have parents who have done this for them, mashallah, congratulations to all of those. The parents, the children, and everyone who was taught in a good way. May Allah Almighty make it easy. May Allah Almighty help us to be role models to our own children. And so, as you grow older, unfortunately, certain things happen. What are they? Sometimes you send the child to school and they come back with a little cigarette stub in the bag, you know. When we were kids, we used to look at these kids. I'm talking of 1975. So you see these cigarette stubs. Some of them are still burning. Some of the uncles used to throw them and then stamp on them, you know, and some of them used to just throw them. And when they used to stamp them, we used to get upset. Hey, they stamped the thing, come on, gosh, it's gone. And when they still alight, you start wondering, looking, and then we're telling each other, no, it's haram, come on, you can't do that. No, sis, somebody's mouth, the guy's put it to his mouth, yuck. So all sorts of excuses, and alhamdulillah, we were saved from it. But there were other kids who used to go and actually take them and start, what are you doing? Oh, it's just... Then the other youngster comes and says, no, that's not how it is. You got to take it into your lungs. Say, what? Take it into your lungs. And then it comes out, you can even take it out of your ears. I know when we were kids, we heard everything. But trust me, there was one uncle who used to take it out of his ears. I don't know if you've ever seen that happening. Don't laugh, guys, you can Google it. I don't know how they develop first the nose, and then they can make these circles coming out and whatever else. That doesn't mean I enjoyed it, right? Nor does it mean it's halal. I'm only telling you, shaitan comes even in circles. Okay? So basically, here you have children who were caught because they saw things and they were inquisitive. But because sometimes the parents might not have noticed what was going on, they develop these bad habits. And unfortunately, in today's world, what happens at a very young age, they become, and this is a fact, they become, what can I say? They are prone to the surroundings where drugs is happening. Drugs is being taken. Or the little weed is being puffed or smoked. Or sometimes glue. I know in our country there is something that they sniff at a young age, and that's glue. You just sniff glue and you're a little bit high. How did it feel? It's a nice thing, come try. They put it into a little packet and they start. I don't even want to teach you how to do it, sorry. But yes, that's what happens. They become little children, innocent children, who now have interacted with something that they're not supposed to have. But that's part of growing up, I think, in some instances. It's our duty to keep an eye. But my beloved children, don't let this happen to you. Wallahi. As little as you may be listening to me today or later on, don't allow yourself to fall or slide into bad habits. That is something bad. Drugs we don't do. Gangsterism we don't do. We don't get involved in it. As much as people try, and they try hard, it's better to be alone, clean, than to be with a group of people all on drugs. Because that's the beginning of the end of a lot. Who knows if you're going to come out of it? We've got people who've come out, alhamdulillah, in their thousands, but we've got others in their millions who haven't come out. And then they start justifying it. It's okay. Why? It's only weed. Only weed. Only weed. Are you sure? Yes, it's only weed. And then they justify it. And then you have adults grown up. I tell people, don't even smoke. There was a young lady who came up to me and said, you know what, I want to get married to this guy, beautiful guy. He reads 5 salah a day, amazing character, everything is beautiful. The only thing is he smokes cigarettes. I said, no, it's a screen. He probably does weed. Ask him. She said, no, he doesn't. I trust him. Okay, ask him. So she comes back to me some time later and says, guess what? He does weed. How did you get that out of him? Well, I told him, listen, swear by Allah. And whatever else she told him. You know, people have their way of extracting the information. Is it just a cigarette or do you do weed? Somehow it came out, yes, weed. He said, okay, you lied to me. So weed, but it's only weed. Look, everyone does it. All these friends of mine, oh, I didn't know. The whole lot of them do it. So now what are you going to do? He says, but I promise you by Allah, I'm going to quit it. So then she says, look, I really love this guy. It's a bit too late in the day. You're not yet married, but you've already invested your emotions in something. So you're going to justify it. I really love this guy, and he's promised me that he's going to quit it, inshallah. So I think we should get this marriage done. I said, it's up to you. But personally, I would say, clean for 6 months, then we can talk. Clean for 6 months, then we can talk. Not that I'm going to get married to you and thereafter you're going to do it. Do it now. Right now. And then I want to talk. My beloved boys and girls, we have to quit these habits because we're going to have children who are going to have worse habits. And they're going to have children who are going to have ridiculous habits that we probably wouldn't imagine even existed today. There are things happening today I wouldn't have imagined when I was a little bit younger that would happen. I promise you, so absurd that I can't even talk about it. And there are people prodding them along to say, no, it's normal, it's okay, it's natural, you're free. Free. Wow. Free means you're free to enter Jahannam, isn't it? But that's not how it should be. We should be honest. Listen, this is a bad habit. That's it. It's a terrible habit. Don't smoke, don't this, don't that. And my brothers and sisters, perhaps they are from amongst you, those who might be smoking a cigarette. Don't you know it's a bad habit? You know it is. Am I right? At least one was honest enough to say yes. The others are quietly saying, oh no, he's starting to attack us. This is not what I'm here for this evening, right? No, I'm not attacking anyone. It's love. That's what it is. We know that we have bad habits. I have some bad habits. Try to work on them, inshallah. But at the same time, if you're not going to be strong and quit these things, wallahi, it may result in your ultimate downfall. The sister ended up getting married. Turns out the brother was on much more than weed. And I don't mean tajweed. I'm talking about something hectic, man. Subhanallah. May Allah Almighty forgive us. And then the heartbreak, and then so on. And then she was expecting already, and then something happened, and then the child, in the scan, the child had a hole in the heart. May Allah grant cure to everyone who is sick and ill in every way, anyone going through challenges. But sometimes what happens is when people go on to heavy drugs, at times, they say it firstly destroys your reproductive system before anything else. So why should I even do that? Why should I even go into that? Wouldn't you like a pure, beautiful, clean reproductive system where you have children and mashallah, alhamdulillah, if something didn't happen the way it should, you relate it to Allah, but at least no one blames something about you and I. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen us. We have to develop habits, inshallah, that will be amazing. And we have to help our children and my beloved children. Don't get into these habits. And if you have, get out of it as soon as you can. Because you still need to grow older. You need to succeed in life. You need to be able to earn. You need to worship Allah because you don't know how long you're going to live for. You're going to go back to Allah. At least if you went back to Allah with a few good habits or fighting a bad habit, Allah would record that. And He knows this person died while trying his best to please me, to leave and quit something that was displeasing to me. That's a bonus. I'd rather die trying to quit something displeasing to Allah than die being involved in it in a way that I don't give a damn. May Allah Almighty strengthen all of us. Ask parents whose children are involved in some of these bad habits how they have sleepless nights. So my beloved children, don't allow this to happen to you. Be strong, come out of it. Life is filled with so many problems, so many challenges. This is the last thing you need. The last thing you ever need is to slide into habits that are going to perhaps destroy your future. How many people have no future? Because do you know what? Even if they're working and work hard, as soon as they earn, all that money is gone into haram. All of the money, it's either gone into drugs, it's gone into alcohol, it's gone into gambling, unfortunately, it's gone into illicit affairs perhaps, and this is the truth, it's happening. People go into, I know of married guys who won't spend a penny on their wives and children, but they spend the entire packet on a mistress. The whole packet. Where did it go? Well, it went. And then suddenly you find out after some time, you know what, this is where it's going. Sometimes not one, but 10. May Allah Almighty forgive us. May Allah strengthen them and all of us to do the right thing all the time. So, this is why we say when you haven't worked on your habit, you're not going to go far in life. You need to do two things. Work hard to develop correct habits and work hard to eradicate bad habits. And this is how we as human beings have been created. You know, when a person does something wrong for the first time they do something wrong, displeasing to Allah, if it's the first time in your life you're doing it, you feel a sense of regret and remorse, which is a good sign. It's a sign you're connected to Allah. But thereafter, if you allow yourself to do it again, the remorse is one notch lower. Again, it becomes another notch lower. Again, it becomes another notch lower. Again, it's like a habit. That's it. I no longer pray, astaghfirullah, because you know what? I just can't do it. Not you can't do it. You got yourself used to not doing it. Or a person says, I can't leave alcohol. I can't do this. I can't leave adultery. I can't. That's because you